get to it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you may find yourself as you listen to this. And welcome to the only podcast with brains and bars. It's another episode of It's a Black and White Thing, the first one for 2022. As always, you can check out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to the podcast app of your choice, searching for either It's a Black and White Thing or Brains and Bars. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere where you get podcasts, or at least the majors for sure. We're also on Anchor at SoundCloud.com as well. You can follow us on all social media platforms by searching for Brains and Bars on Facebook, Twitter, or IG. I haven't gotten to the TikTok thing because I'm an old man and TikTok is not my bag. Um, but as always, I don't do this show by myself. I got my homie, my Cody, my Ace riding shotgun with me. A Ward, what's going on with you, man?
Yo, homie, yo, what?
Ace, Cody,
Oh,
Ace.
oh, I thought you said Cody. My bad. I thought
Well, that too. That
you
too.
said. No, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you for real. Once again, I'm back in action. Got a lot to talk about, a lot to interview about, a lot to just discuss. So yeah, man, it's good. It's good. I like the blue background. I like the headset. You looking real intellectual. Um, you know. But now, if you don't know me, A Ward, IamAWard.com. Please go to the website, follow the social media hyperlinks, add me on everything or whatever, and you'll kind of see what I get into. I get into brains and bars, and a lot of bars and more bars. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, if you're tuning in for the first time or listening for the first time, welcome. Welcome. If you are a faithful listener, first of all, we thank you for sticking in there as we do our thing. Although I must say, last year, 2020 was the most productive year we've ever had, and we stopped doing shows like in April. So, thank you for those who ride with us, whether we produce content or not. We appreciate you. I feel like, last year was a little bit of a growth year, and hopefully we continue to grow and continue to do more episodes, but we shall see how that goes. Um, so yeah, man, we got a couple of things to talk about. Few things. You wanna go sports or you wanna go battle rap first? Which one you wanna do first?
we can go battle rap first. I always like talking about battle rap. Get it out of the way.
Dope, dope, dope. So let's do that then. So battle rap it is. So as COTY took place this past weekend, champion of the year. Shout out to Jay Black. Shout out to the whole team there, Anwar, Rita, Mark, everyone affiliated with Champion. And it was a very interesting panel. I was in and out for most of it. I had it in the background sometimes just with the sound down because the Niners were playing, and then I got into the Chiefs game, and so I kind of jumped in and out. I feel like I caught most of it though.
Mhm.
Um, Shout out to everyone who was named to the top 20 list. It
Now
was
it was
a
7 hours long. How long was it? How long was it?
it was 7 8 hours long. And I thought that this year would be a little bit less hectic just because I know one of the requirements were they had to bring their own top 20 list. So I thought the top 20 list would kind of cut down on a little bit of the controversy. It didn't in the way that I thought it would, but yeah, man, it was an interesting 7 hours. And like I said, I probably was around I probably watched more of it than I probably should have just because like I really between that and football, like I really tune family out, which I normally don't do on the weekends. Normally my wife is used to me watching football, which I was. Like football was definitely like there because it was all day long.
Hmm.
But then Cody was like this extra thing that was just kind
Yeah,
of running undercurrent with that. So you, my friend, did not watch Cody at all because you were in New York
Alexander
living your
Hamilton.
life.
Yeah, Alexander Hamilton.
Checking out Hamilton and Wicked. So before we get into Cody, let's get a quick review of Hamilton because that is your bag. Like you're a big Hamilton guy, Hamilton fan.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. It really was. I've been to a couple of Broadway shows, and they're always just so. There's always so much fun to go to and see live. I've never been to a Broadway show where like I recently just watched it. Like on Disney Plus, obviously, and man, it was so good. It was so good. She got us great seats. We're sitting dead in the middle. Like just perfect seats in the Broadway theater. Um, we're watching it, and like on like a scale of 1 to 10, to me it was like a 9. And you're like, why is it not a 10? I just think it's because like the girl that played Angelica on Disney Plus was so cold. I think the girl in person, like she wasn't as cold to me. You know what I mean? And so I kind of was like spoiled a little bit, with some of the characters on the Disney Plus version, because they're obviously the best of the best. And they're not all the same people that are on the actual Broadway show right now. At one point they were, but yeah, man, it was so good. The music, the soundtrack's so good. Everything about it, I really love it. And then Wicked was a surprise too. I didn't expect it to be that good, and I really wasn't familiar with the story of what Wicked was until the actual show and kind of reading through the program, and it was super dope too. So, but yeah, New York City was good. It was also just great to be away, with the family and like friends and stuff like that, and just being like not having to tune into like all the battle rap stuff or whatever, because I knew that whole day was just going to be nothing but text messages and tweets and everything going on. So I was able to kind of just zone all that out and just enjoy it.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So because I'm not rich like you are. I'm not as well off as you are. Um, but I am going to go see the Kansas City version of Wicked
Oh yeah.
this weekend with wifey. So,
I hope that's good.
um,
I hope that's good. Let me know how it is.
yep, yep, yep. So, all right. So, I guess from what you have consumed, since you didn't see the entire thing, like your thoughts on the process. I mean, obviously, you can chime in on where you ended up. Were there any groups that you felt, or any, I should groups, any battlers you felt that maybe were snubbed that should have been on the list?
Good question. Man, I wish I had paid a little bit more attention to it, but I would say Dunch. I would say Dunch is probably the one that I thought should have been on the list. I don't think he made it right. He didn't make top 20.
Right,
Is that correct? Yeah.
right, right.
I thought Dunch's performance throughout the season, coupled with his battle versus King Jables, was I battle of the year probably. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I thought Dunch probably had a good reason to be on the list. Outside of that, Calico, did Calico make the list?
No, Cal did not make the list.
Calico probably. I feel like Calico beat Geechee in my opinion. He had a battle that was debatable, probably a crazy battle with Hitman that was debatable. Um, Yo, my God, Sauce, what's up? He had a battle with that was debatable there, and then the rematch with Surf. I mean, I didn't think he got bodied by Surf or anything. Like, I didn't think he had, it wasn't something where one of his three battles were bad. So with seeing what the panel does for people with three battles that are good, knowing that Calico had three battles and he might have just been a round away from having three wins against three, high quality opponents. And apparently, just that one round separates you from being off the list and being number, 4 in the whole thing. So that's what's
Three.
kind of about it. Yeah, three or four. Yeah. So yeah, I think Calico and Dutch probably in my mind were the two names that probably I thought were the snubs. What as far as the temperature around the culture, were there other names that you would say that were like big snubs?
No, I think I feel like
Dre
Dre
Dennis.
Dennis. I feel
Yeah.
like Dre Dennis didn't get enough love. Like I get it, maybe resume, like maybe it wasn't, top names he was battling all year, but he was really good in the King of the Dot S1. Like I believe he might have been the number one seed from the East. If he wasn't number one, he was number two.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like I understand he lost in the first round to Shotty P, but it was a close battle. It wasn't like he got bodied. And I feel like the amount of consistency and work that he put out this year, he had earned the right. If you say I'm going to put him at 20, right? Maybe he didn't have a better year than Ill Will or Mad Flex or Tay Rock or Bill Collector. Like I felt like he was someone who was worthy of that top 20 spot.
Yeah.
So I think those three names, and I will actually be releasing. I have my own top 20 because I know that was kind of the refrain from the crew of people who put together the list. Like, hey, if you're going to criticize, put together your own top 20. And the top 20 that I had, so we had a little bit of discussion earlier about like when I did my champion of the year survey, who was in my top 20, who wasn't. I posted the list. After listening to the discussion and listening to all the viewpoints, I did switch it up a little bit. There were a few names that were added that were not on my list. And then there were some like Fonz was one who was in my 20, but I didn't realize he didn't have. I took it for granted that he had three battles,
Hmm.
but he only had two. He didn't get that third round battle, so he fell off my list. Calico was on my list. Dre Dennis and Dunch are both like the three snubs in my opinion all made my top 20 list.
Okay.
I will say this: here's my top five, and I will post the remaining 20 on the Brains and Bars Twitter page, so you can check that out. I have you obviously number one. I told you when I did my survey, like no gas, like no gas, no Jeffing, none of that stuff. Like I felt like when I looked at all of the six criteria, I felt like you merited the number one spot for Cody. I had Easy second because I just felt like Easy's year. Granted, it was only four battles, but really good opponents. T Top, Rex. I'm forgetting. I'm going to forget one name because he had four battles. T Top,
Yes.
Rex, Chess, and I'm missing one more. He had one
It's
more
the two
battle,
on two.
but
He only had three one rounds, right? He had the two on
I
two.
thought he had a fourth one. I could have swore he had a fourth one, but yeah, he had four battles total. But I thought he had one more in 2021. I could be wrong,
Mm. Yeah.
but I think having the clear battle of the year, winner having one of the rounds of the year, his first round to Chess. I thought he gave out quality work. I thought that he also brought out the best of his opponents. I think most people consider whether K Shine, that was the fourth one. I knew there was another one. But whatever you think about Rex and his year and what he did, I thought that Rex, you got one of the best Rex performances you've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Um, Kayshawn, I don't have him bodying Kayshawn. I think most people have it either a body or a gentleman's 30. I thought he got it to one, but I think he won. And I just think that he was really, really good all year. And I just thought he merited that second spot. I had DNA as third.
I remember you saying that.
Um, DNA to me, I think he beat Av. I think he beat Geechee. I think he beat
Beat up.
Edge B dot. Like that's a debatable. That's a debatable, but I have it at Edge. I have him beating King Los. And I have him edging real sick. Like he beat by my estimation, that's four people on that list,
Yeah.
right? Maybe he doesn't have the moments that maybe a Geechee or yourself or Easy or Rum Nitty has, but in terms of consistency, performance,
Strength of schedule.
strength of schedule. Like to me, he ranked high. Then I have Geechee. I think you have to respect the year that he put together.
Hmm.
Getting Lux and beating Lux. Obviously battling yourself, battling Rum Nitty in the rematch, which I felt like in the tournament he got better as the tourney went on, and his best performance was against Rum Nitty.
Hmm.
And I think the judges, I know it wasn't revealed to the world, but I think during the panel, it was revealed that Geechee won 3-2 in that. So he was the champion of the tournament. And I just think like, yeah, like he's one of those ones, like he's one of those guys. And then to me, fifth was Rum Nitty.
Hmm.
Nitty, like to me, Nitty was so impressive in the fact that he had three rematches in that
Yeah.
tournament, and his material was better. To me, clearly better than the material that he wrote for Geechee, for Cortez, for Drugs. Like it was just like he knocked it out of the park. Obviously, some people might feel his Holmesy material wasn't that crazy. So I have him and Luke Castro being a debate. Like I edged it to Nitty. I thought it was a debatable battle. I thought Luke Castro was better than people thought. So that was my top five. Surface right out there outside that. And like I said, I'll post the full thing. But I think that first of all, let me shout out France. France went to war.
That's my
France
guy.
should be, listen, I'm going to petition that France be made an honorary horseman just for the fight that he put up for yourself and Rum Nitty. The consistency argument to me was crazy. I get it. Surf went 3 for 3 in 90 days. Like, that's dope. That is to be commended. His performances were flawless. He won all those battles, including two clear wins. I don't know how people call the Cal battle. Maybe some people feel like he just won and it wasn't clear, but three wins, 90 days, top competition. But to me, like you cannot discount what yourself, Nitty, DNA, and Geechee have done in being consistent all year round. Like you have to give some credence to that. And Francis Point was had incredible merit. Being consistent, I know they said for yourself 21 out of 23 times. Doing that 23
They,
times.
they gave me two. They gave me two of them that weren't.
Well, I think the Rosenberg battle and the XL battle.
Oh, that's
They
what they
say
okay.
were like the two where they were like, right? 21 out of 23 is better than 3 for 3. Like you just have to look at the sample. I mean, that's the long and short of it. Like you can't I don't understand what, and I get it. They were being literal. Like they were going by the letter of the definition of consistency and going with
Yeah,
100% is greater than 90% or 80. Okay, whatever. To me, in my opinion, I look at consistency like this. Can Surf do what you do, what Nitty does, what Geechee does?
right.
Maybe he can, right? Maybe he can. Like, no disrespect. Maybe he can battle 10 times a year and still have the same quality and consistency. Maybe he's done it before. Like, I'm not an encyclopedia of battle rap like some are. But to me, I'm not sure he can do what you guys did. I am absolutely positive if you guys battled 3 times in not
Yeah,
well, I mean, you do it, right?
yeah,
If all you had to do though were 3 battles in 90 days, you would get high quality, high moments, high impact, high
yeah.
consistency, great material. So I don't really have too many other qualms from the panel. Shout out to the brother M. Lang, who was the guy who donated the most. I thought he added, to me, he's somebody who should potentially be brought back again next year. That's how good he was. Um, I mean, shout out to Black Compass, Tony Bro, Polo, Anwar, Mark, Bad Money, went through the whole list. I think Di the Henny Man and France, man. I think it was a dope panel, man. Y'all can let us know what y'all think about COTY. Where do you think Ward should have ranked? The only thing I'll say about this to kind of close the loop on COTY is this: we got to stop talking about one rounders as a negative. I
Yeah,
don't, I don't understand if one rounders don't count. Why talk about it? By Jay Black's own admission, one rounders only count if they are a classic or a body. Other than that, they don't count. So if
yeah,
they're not a body and it's not a classic, when discussing your year or Dre Dennis's year, for example, let's not even discuss the one rounders. Let's just say, hey, he put out from consistency standpoint, A Word battled 23 times. What 10 of them were one rounders. They were high
13.
quality, consistent. 13, my apologies.
No,
13 were
no, no,
one round.
13 3 round. My bad. 10 1
Right,
round. Yeah.
right. 10 were one rounders. It was quality, consistent material. So he continues to, regardless of whether it's one or three, he checks the box in consistency and putting out great work, no matter the opponent, no matter the league, no matter the stage. Cool. Let's talk about the 13 3 round battles and look at his resume, his material, his impact, his performance, consistency, whatever, right? To me, like it's just like, I don't get it. Like, stop penalizing these guys for taking these battles. Do you not like the content? Do you not
Right.
care? Do you not want to see these guys perform? So I think that's the only thing. And obviously it led to the whole URL battle. I feel like it's a URL award just because URL, like I think without even trying, it's almost unconscious bias. Like I
Yeah.
don't think that everyone on the panel is biased to URL, but I think it's just unconscious, just because of the platform, the stage, and because of the amount of content they put out. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I'll just be honest, man. I don't know the M Lane guy. Um, but outside of France and Jay Black, I uh I don't like any of those other dudes like opinions on battle rap. Like Tony Bro has some good opinions every now and then. Okay, so I'll go three, you know. But Mark, Di, Anwar, Bad Money, Polo, like it just like when I see that kind of panel, like that's when I immediately am like, yeah, this it's cool to win, but their opinions don't hold weight to me, if that makes any sense, you know? Like imagine you're on the voice, right? And then like you're singing and you know that chair spins around. And when the chair spins around, it's like some local hip hop blogger or whatever that's from 2 cities away telling you that, you know, you can't sing. You know what I mean? No. Like when the chair spins around on the voice, it's literally people who have done it, you know what I mean, know what it takes. So you their criticism and everything, you listen to them and you value what they're saying because you can say, oh, you've done this before, you've been here, you understand all of it. You know what I mean? And so I just think that, when it comes to that panel, guys like Tony Bro France, guys like Jay Black, um, guys like even like the battle rap stats guy. And I'm not just saying this because they crowned me as the best or whatever. These guys analytically, they watch all of the battles. You know what I mean? They literally go in and they pay attention. They don't have any kind of like, they shouldn't have any kind of like supreme, bias towards one person or the other. And they kind of give their opinion, and they've been inundated with the culture for a long time. So um yeah, so whenever I see like the panel or whatever, like, and like I didn't watch it because I don't care what Di has to say about me, right? I don't care what Anwar has to say or Mark has to say. Like, it goes in one ear, not the other. But I see these guys at events, and I'll shake their hands and stuff like that, and I don't want to watch it because I don't want to be irritated with those people, on another level, to where like it affects, like how I feel about them as people. You know what I mean? So like I just didn't watch it. So I like I should have won champion of the year. Like, that's how I feel. I should have won champion of the year. I feel like it was between me and Geechee Gotti. And I felt like if the panel got me to number two, there was a small chance I could have won it. I just thought the best thing that they could have done was keep me away from number two. Because if you're looking at it at 1 and 2 and you're like, all right, Geechee Gotti and A Ward, I can compete with Geechee Gotti. You know what I mean? When you put what Geechee's done this year beside the Easies and the Surfs, with a lot less battles and then battling on the same platform, and him having way more volume and different things like that, when you compare them, and they didn't battle each other, when you compare them, it was a little easier to select Gotti for champion of the year. But yeah, I definitely thought I should have won. Like, I had a chip on my shoulder this year. When I got 20 last year, I was like, I'll show y'all. You know what I mean? And all these conversations that we've had before this whole year is like, yo, Ward, why do I see another flyer with you battling? And it's just because I was just like, yo, I'm trying to be relentless. Like, I know for a fact that like the only way to keep my name in the talks is to keep a battle coming out every month, every 2 weeks or whatever, doing something, clipping things down or whatever, because people who, whether it be unconsciously biased or whatever, they want to find a reason to discredit what I'm doing. And I really feel like that. I feel like it's like, all he takes is one rounders or whatever. And let's just say me and Arsenal was a classic, right? And somebody said, what about the one round at Arsenal and Classic? The way their mind would go, it would be like, they wouldn't want to say, you know what, he got crazy, yada, yada. They say, man, that happened in a driveway. That's how they view me. You know what I mean? So what's the next thing I can tangibly grab onto to kind of pull down? And that's like I said, it is what it is with Champion. Like, I appreciate what Jay Black and all of them do or whatever, but like I've just noticed it way too much. Like, being like yo, all you do is one rounders. No, I did more. I did more three rounders than what everybody in the top 10 probably.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Danny,
think I
Danny
don't know how
Myers
many
might have
Geechee
had.
got.
No, Geechee only had
Mm,
9.
yeah, I don't think Danny. I think after the real sick battle, I feel like Danny, at least in terms of what I can remember, I don't remember
Yeah,
him battling that much after that. He
yeah. So
still he still had performances, but like I don't remember too many battles after that one.
yeah, but yeah, so like that's kind of the temperature in which I gauge it. Happy to be top 5 in the world, and I guess the Champion is considered the most reputable ranking system in battle rap, and I would agree that it is, since they do spend time in the culture. Like, I would agree that it is. So definitely happy to be top 5. Um, but yeah, the way I look at battle rap and the way some other people look at battle rap is obviously different. Shout out to France though. One of the reasons why France went, I think, would like be so much on my side is because during the year when I talked to France, I would tell him these things are going to happen, because I knew, and France would be like, "There's no way, Ward. There's no way they're going to say that person did this over you." I'm like, everything you're saying in your head that you think there's no way, wait till you get up there on the panel. And so I actually, France came and watched the Chiefs game with me Sunday night in New York City. So he pulled up, and me and him and Saga and everything. And when I looked at him, he just walked in and he was like, "You owe me a drink, bro." Like, basically, it's like, bro, bored. And I was like, "I told you, bro. Like if France probably wouldn't even said nothing, they probably would have had me at 8."
Nah, I don't think you would have fallen that far because I think like I figured you were going to be top 5 for sure. I thought with the way things work on the panel that you would make it as high as 3. I think that was the disappointment for me. I listen, let's be honest. Geechee Gotti had wrapped up champion of the year. If
The minute
not
he
at the
got one.
tournament, well, I think from the time the tournament wrapped up, I think it was over. To me,
Yeah,
that was the coffin being shut. The nails were put in when it was announced he got Lux, and then he has the consensus victory over Lux.
yeah,
The nails were in the coffin. This was
yeah,
Geechee Gotti's award. Salute to Gotti, three-time champion, like well deserved, right? Regardless of whether I agree with the final ranking or not, it is well deserved and it is earned for the work he's put in. So salute to him. But I thought that for sure, I felt like the the push behind Surf and Easy was going to it was going to be 2, 3, and 4. I thought would be between the three of you guys. That's just what I thought. I thought it would be between the three of you guys. I didn't see five. And then when I heard a couple of people say, "Well, he's outside my top five," I said, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe I got that wrong." And again, like I do think that when you talk about that top five, I feel like it could have again after Geechee, I feel like it could have gone anyway. Um, at least going into it. Once I heard the way they talked about Easy, and I was like, nah, he's gonna end up being two. But I thought, at least from an objective standpoint, that 2, 3, and 4 between you, Nitty, and Easy could have just been interchangeable. I do feel like there's not a lot that separates you all. You all are phenomenal battle rappers. You all put in a lot of work, a lot of impact, a lot of moments, a lot of consistency, a lot of dope material between you all. Dope resume. But yeah, I don't know. Like
yeah. I just I can't like in like a sport where now there's so many opportunities to battle, right? To give an award out to somebody who can take half the year and not do that, not even be a battle rapper, right? Is asinine to me. And so, as much as I agree that Easy has had good times, there's 4 or 5 months where Easy didn't battle,
Mhm.
and there's 6 months and even right, probably a whole 9 months total that Surf didn't even battle. So when you have guys at the caliber of me, Nitty, and Geechee, I automatically put us up there in the top three, and I'm just like, you guys have like the popularity, the impact, what you did with your battles is great and everything, but you spent half of the year not even being a battle rapper per se, because we're judging it off battles.
Mhm.
And so that's why, like, when it comes down to like just gauging those type of guys, even like a DNA, like you said, when I looked at DNA's resume and stuff, I was like, wow, like I probably would maybe even put DNA above like Easy and Surf for me, just because I'm like this guy. So then, whenever they label these guys more consistent, that's when it's just kind of like, how, you know,
Yeah.
like like how are they more consistent? You know what I mean? Like,
And
but a year ago or 2 years ago, you or even today, you'll say DNA is one of the most consistent battle rappers of all time, right? All right.
mhm.
You would like there was never a time where we said Mook or Lux was the most consistent battle rappers of all time, right? Even before they like had some bad battles, right? We would say they're legends, Mount Rushmore. We wouldn't say they're the most consistent, but they might have been 3 for 3 on their last 3 battles in the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time they popped out, they might have been crazy good, right? We didn't say, well, I mean, look, Lux just battled Hollow, he just battled Clips, he just battled Calico. He's the most consistent battle rapper of all time, even though he had 3 crazy battles in a row. We never said that. We never said he was 3 for 3 in his last 3, depending on how many years apart they are.
Right. Right.
And so why now all of a sudden in one year is it like, well, he did 3 battles, and he was 3 for 3. And it's like, no, consistency means volume. It means different things like that. It's not all about, like I said, you're 3 for 3 from the free throw line. You get fouled, you miss a three, right? You get fouled on a three, you hit 3 free throws, right? Another guy is literally 23 for 24 from the line during the game. Who's more consistent free throw shooter? I'm going with 23 for 24. You know what I mean?
Right. 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 Yeah, I agree. And
So
I do so I'll say this to kind of end the discussion. I do think the one thing they should look at going into next year is I'm gonna use a guy like DNA and Calico, for example, right? You brought up DNA. DNA has a debatable with the guy who won it. He has a clear win over Av, who I think it was 14. He has a debatable win over Real Sick, who I think was either 8 or 9. Like he was top 10. He's got one more battle maybe on here. I might be missing one other person, but he's got quality material against guys who you know for sure were going to be in that top 20 list. That
Yeah,
has to be taken into consideration. When you look at a guy like I'm trying to think, what's the other name I'm looking at? Calico. Again, Calico has a consensus win, in my opinion, over the guy who finished number one. He's got a win over Hitman, who's a legend, not on the list, but a guy you might consider to be a legend or a debatable win. I thought he at the buzzer, kind of with his last few bars, got that. Yes, he lost to Surf, but he lost to the guy who finished number three. So that's the guy who, at the end of the day, you have to consider like not a lot of people are beating the number three ranked battler in the world, right? So it's nothing
yeah,
wrong with losing to that guy. So like I heard somebody said, well, the loss to Surf knocked him off the list. It shouldn't, because if he's number three, then a lot of people are going to lose to that guy,
yeah, yeah.
right?
If you're
So
giving that guy credit for the win, you know what I mean?
you
Yeah.
got it's got to go both ways, in my opinion. So that's kind of all I have to say about it. If you got anything else to add, we can move on.
No, I would just say like when you're looking at well, first off, it's impossible to judge battle rap when people battle 23 times a year and people battle three. So like, you know what I mean? But that's what you're supposed to have these categories for. When you look at the categories, you probably have to have a more definitive explanation of what they entail. And I just think maybe the panel themselves, I don't know. I don't know how many people are out there, but I know guys like Ledge from Pod Tier. I know guys like yourself. I know guys um, like Nico, and there's other guys that I've seen do blogs that to me seem to be more, analytical, more understanding of different things or whatever. And I think it's time to branch out and reach out to some of those guys, not guys managers that are on the list, or guys best friends that are in battle rap groups with them. You know what I mean? Like it's just it is what it is. Um, and so that's kind of the nature of it because there's literally no definition for any of that stuff. Strength of schedule. What is strength of schedule? Like you just said, DNA battled probably 5 top 20 teams. You know, and so why and look at Surf's resume or Easy's resume, and they might have battled one apiece. If that. Um,
Yeah.
so what does that mean? So but yeah, but regardless of it, we always get into like what I think went wrong with it or whatever. Champion continues to put on something, that they don't have to do. Jay Black doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to raise the money. He doesn't have to, take all of the criticism and different things for it. He chooses to. I do think it has been beneficial. Guys like Mad Flex, who finished top 20 this year, first time ever, great for him. Guys like Loso, I think this is Loso's first top 10 finish ever. Great for him. My first top 5 finish ever. Like this is really, really dope stuff comes out of it. You know what I mean? So definitely salute to them for continuing to put it on and not just saying like, all right, y'all just gonna complain about it, forget it. Because I'm sure there's days where Jay Black probably wants to do that. So
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, whether we agree with your opinion or disagree. That is in part the beauty of battle rap, beauty of the culture. We can have those disagreements and still, keep it cool, keep it friendly, and so shout out to all those guys. Shout out to everybody represented on the panel. I agree with your idea of potentially having some fresh blood. Again, like I said, the M Lane gentleman, never heard of him before, saw him for the first time, and like I said, whether I agreed or disagreed with his opinion, I thought he offered an interesting perspective, and brought something different to the table. So yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Battle Rap Stats too, who did. We
hold on,
don't,
was that no Battle Rap Stats? Oh, was Battle Rap Fanatic there? Was he on the panel?
no, he was not. He was not.
Okay, all right.
Shout out, shout out to Cash. I would love to be on the panel. I mean, I've was on champion, within the past year, obviously with you.
Yeah.
I've told Jay Black in person how I feel about his platform and what he's built, and inspiration. So I would love to one day be on the panel, and if I happen to come into like $1 million, I'm going to put in the highest bid to be on the panel. Uh, but
Hey
nah,
man,
man.
just send me that money, man, and we'll just go kick it, bro. Just send me that bread, man. We'll just go kick
But no, but I do want to accentuate, the highlight a good thing. Yeah, shout out to Battle Rap Stats who did after doing his analysis and his statistical, excuse me, breakdown,
it.
analytical breakdown, had you as the number one ranked battler in the world. So while number one on Battle Rap Stats, which again, I don't understand everything about his approach. He lays it out there for you to read, so you can go and check it out on his website. But he does a lot of work. He had you as number one, number five on the champion list. Like that's a great year.
Yeah, the other thing I thought was cool was I was number one, and I was also the highest ranked battler of all time. So like as far as composite score for every year that they've done it,
Mhm.
I have the highest score that's ever been given out, beating Geechee Gotti's 2019 year that he had like a certain he finished number one with a certain amount of points. So I definitely thought that's pretty cool to like look at the comparisons of all that stuff too. So
Yep, yep. So dope. So man, shout out to the whole battle rap community, man. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram by searching at Brains and Bars. Let's jump into this sports, man. Let's get into this NFL